Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jung Kian, and I'm Malaysia Oriel 2017. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes talking to you about myself and my experience here in Oxford last year. Whoops, too fast. I graduated from the University of Southern California in 2014, and that was my first time living abroad. Immediately after graduation, I had a Euro trip, and I visited Oxford for the first time. And that was the first time I heard of the word punting, and I punted for the first time. Oops. I'm having a problem with the clicker. Oh. Where should I point? It was really difficult the first time, but after spending a year here in Oxford, I would like to think that I'm a professional punter now. I came back to visit in 2016, knowing full well that I was going to apply to Oxford. So when I got into Oxford and when I got the Rhodes Scholarship in 2017, I knew exactly what I wanted to do here. I wanted to become an active member of the Oxford Union because I used to watch the videos of the Oxford Union debates on YouTube. I had always wanted to learn Japanese and French, so I thought of taking foreign language classes at the Language Center. I used to run half marathons in Malaysia, so I thought of running again here and joining the Oxford Half Marathon, which is happening next week. I love traveling, so I made it a life goal to visit all 46 European countries and set a target of visiting 15 new European countries every year while I'm here. That's too fast. Anyway, I soon learned that expectations and reality are actually two very different things. None of those things actually happened. I became a member of the Oxford Union, but I barely showed up to the events. I bought the Japanese books the first week after I got here, but I never signed up for the classes. And the books are still sitting in my room, so if you do plan to take Japanese classes, I'm happy to sell them to you. They're £55, no discount because they're brand new. I woke up early in the morning last year, but I couldn't bring myself out of my room to run early in the morning at 10 degrees Celsius because I used to run at 30 degrees Celsius. And to the Americans, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I made it to 10 new European countries in the first 6 months, and I gave up halfway. So what happened? What really happened was I started doing yoga at the Rhodes house, and that was my first time doing yoga. I started rowing for my college, and that was my first time rowing. Oops. And I didn't even know rowing was a thing until I came to Oxford. I became an active member of my MCR. I ran for secretary the first week after I got here and ran for VP at the end of last year. I started working behind the Oriel MCR bar, but that's because my alcohol bill was growing and I was struggling to cope with it financially, so I had to work. Instead of visiting more new European countries, I decided to go to Italy 3 times in a year, just because my friends wanted to go back. I realized I made these decisions because my priorities have changed. When I was an undergraduate, I sacrificed my sleep to study really hard to get my 2 engineering degrees and socialize for a little bit. Now that I'm a graduate student here at Oxford, I've become a lot older, hopefully a little bit wiser, but definitely a lot more cynical about school and the real world. So I decided to sacrifice my studies and spend an enormous amount of time socializing and perhaps sleep a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, I don't mean I didn't study at all, because like Elizabeth said this morning, we are here to study. So I did what I had to do to pass my course, but spend the rest of my time making meaningful relationships. My point is, there are many opportunities here in Oxford. If you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and try out new things and meet new people, especially the people who are most different from you, no matter how difficult it is at first, I guarantee you, next year at this time, you're going to stand here exactly where I stand and telling everyone how much of a good time you have had in the past year. Thank you very much.